Hi guys, Squad here, and welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. Yes, I did take a little break from this series, but we're back now. There's been some updates to the game. Lots of cool new things added, some of which we can't really access at the moment because we don't have the right tech level and stuff. But one of the nice things they did add, which I don't think, yeah, we do have access, the vertical conveyor lift. Oh my god, that could not come at a better time. Instead of having to sort of wind stuff off this floor up to that floor so I can assemble it, we can now drop in a vertical lift and just take things straight up there. That is going to come in so handy. Particularly when we start taking some of these things here, like these things, the rotors, and we're going to make the stators upstairs. And we need to put the two things together to make motors, which top right of the screen is one of the objectives. Now, we could just hand assemble the motors, and we probably will, just to get the milestone. But it is something that we need to think about doing, and vertical lifts are just beautiful for that. Now, some of you in the comment section did in fact spot my deliberate error where I miscalculated some of the stuff going on here. I actually have way too much stuff from the smelters feeding into the constructors. Not to worry, we're going to completely redo this today. We've got all this stuff going on here. This is just a temporary measure. We've got these 6 here, and all of this is all a bit of a temporary measure. What we're going to do today specifically is we're going to sort out production of screws because we need a lot of screws. If you look what's going on down here, we're already consuming. They're being made here. This is all going to go, by the way. This is not efficient. Remember, we're building a main bus, and that's going to happen. We're going to start work on that. This is what it's all about. This is using 120 screws per minute just to make some iron plates. This is using 132 screws a minute just to make some rotors. And it won't stop there. Pretty much lots of things later on are going to use an insane amount of screws. So what I want to do is I want to go back here and we're going to disassemble some of this stuff, some of these smelters, and we're going to use them. We're going to take on, let's think, we're going to take 3 of them exclusively just to make screws, and that I worked out in my head will just about produce, I think, 2 Mark III belts full of screws at a full capacity. So that's 2 of those. That's going to give us 2 lots of 270. 270 as it stands now will feed those 2 beasts down there because they come to about 260 a minute, and the other one, well, that's not going to get used yet, but it just works out better if we just deal with it now. So I was thinking about how to lay this out, because we've got all this open space at the moment. It's all a bit of a mess, but I was trying to work out in my head how we're going to do this, because we're going to need a bunch of, we've got these smelters here, we're going to need a bunch of constructors, and then another set of constructors, and then the end product's going to come out, and then it's going to come feed all the way back onto the main bus, which we said is going to be here. And this, we can't get to it yet because this thing's in the way, so we'll probably just have to trash this temporarily and just make it, just fudge it together. It really doesn't matter. We want to establish our main bus going this way, and then what's going to happen is we're going to have like 2 belts of screws coming down this main bus, and they will then split and feed these 2 machines. Well, one of the belts will split and feed these 2 machines, and the other belt will just carry on and, you know, do whatever. We could just stick it into storage, or we can just leave it. It doesn't really matter, to be fair. But that's the grand plan. And then probably on the next, probably in the next episode, we're going to sort out some other things like these iron rods, because we want to have a bus of iron rods would be nice, and we want to also sort out the iron plates, which are being made just over there right now. So we've got to do the maths on that, but we'll probably just have those things back here making the plates. Then we'll have the rods, and then we'll have the screws. It'll be glorious. It'll be glorious. But for now, let's make a start and working on the screws. Now then, the screws are taking producing 30 iron ingots per minute, which is great. And if we just kind of have a quick look at a constructor, like that, and let's see, iron rods is what we need to make screws, because screws need iron rods. Now that comes in, if I remember, it's actually not shown us here, 15 per minute produces 15 rods per minute. So one of those smelters back there will feed 2 of these, and that will produce 15 rods per minute. And 15 rods per minute, I think you'll find, produces 90 screws. Okay, so one of these will feed 2 iron rods. And what we're going to do is we're going to use 3 of these. So we're going to basically nick this, take that off there, and that'll just have to suck it up for now. We're going to take these 3 and we're going to go and bring them, I think. Let's see, if we want to keep that walkway open there. Do we want this to be drivable through here? Maybe we do. I was just thinking, like, if you start belting too much, we need to leave space down here so we can get around the factory a bit. So I think what we'll do, we'll turn the 3 around this way, and we'll construct, and then we'll take the end product, slam it onto the wall there, and then take it all the way back to the main bus. That should work out quite nicely, and that will give us a nice efficient screw production. So let's see what we need. Production wise, we're going to need, let's think, so we want 2 constructors, which are these things, 1, 2, but we need 6 of them in total, just for those 3 smelters. Then we're going to need another, let's think, we're going to need for, just doing the mental math, 6 of those, we're going to need another 6 to actually make the screws, aren't we? So we're going to need a total of 12 of these, I believe. So we need to get some, oh, we've got enough, actually. We've got enough reinforced plates and cable. Fine. Fine. Okay. The only thing we need to do is turn and split each of these out. We want to leave that access there so we can start roughly about here. So let's go with a constructor, and let's see, we'll spin it. We want the green side pointing this way, don't we, like that. Let's leave enough space there. We can probably line one up, say, about here. Maybe here. That should do it. And one of these is going to feed 2 of these. Now, we're not going to get enough across here, are we? What we could do is perhaps stagger them like that. And maybe we can do it efficiently that way. Let's give this a try. I've not actually tried this before. Let's give it a try. So 1 for 2 like that. And then let's get the output side of this right. So that's interesting because that takes up... Actually, what we could do is if we take that there like that, if we line that up just on the grid on the ground, like so, and then this one can hopefully, sits forward of that one, we could probably squeeze it there, I'm thinking. But let's just be safe. Oh, let's just do it there like that. That should do it. So I think, if I've got this right, that should come down there. It will. And then this can fit down there. Now, if we replicate, and this is what I wish I had, the ability to just copy and paste that design and paste it over here. But what we need to do is ensure that the first one is lined up with this one. So we'll get that one lined up like that, horizontally. And then we need to start it. Well, we should be able to start it on that square like that, I think. Why not move it over as much as we can squeeze out of this thing? And then the same with that one. We can probably... there-ish. If we've got it right, then that should still go down the middle. Look at that. Ooh. It's like Tetris with constructors. Fantastic. Right, so let's try that again. I would love to see an overhead view right now, just to get a feel for the design. And then that one there like that. And we just about fit in. Ooh, that looks a bit... oh no, it still works. Okay. Alright, so now we got 6 constructors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to make... each of them are going to make iron rods. So let's put it on iron rods. That. It does actually work out a lot more efficient when you do it that way, doesn't it? In terms of physical space. I feel like I missed one. I don't know why, but I feel like I missed one. Looks like I didn't. Okay, never mind. Oh, yes I did. I thought I'd missed one. Right, let's see. One of these needs to feed two of them, so let's think how we're going to do this. We're going to need a logistics splitter for that. And we're going to need the input to be... I suppose it doesn't really matter, but what we could probably do is just line it up with that one there. Something along those lines. And then do the same over here, just to keep the pattern going. And then finally, over here. Come on. So picky. Okay, right, now just get our rates correctly. 30 per minute, we can just get away with Mark 1 belts. We'll bring that into there like that. That one can go into there. And then that one can go into there. It's already starting to flow, look at it. Same thing over here, but I think we'll probably just help to guide it in maybe with one of these. So we want that foundry there, lining up with this thing here. And then that foundry there is going to line up with this thing here. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that works. Just helps to give it a bit of guidance, keeps it nice and tidy. Go. You don't have to do it this way, you can of course just... I just put a conveyor belt inside myself and then couldn't move. I didn't even know the game would let you do that, but apparently it does. Okay. The ingots are flowing, but what's missing? Power. Power is what's missing. Now what we can do is, can we squeeze something around here somewhere? Maybe just there. Might be an ideal spot. And then we can link that to that, and that to that. That's those two taken care of, and then we're going to do the same thing somewhere over here. So just there like that. No, hang on. We actually want it over here, don't we? Oh dear. It'll have to go... I tell you what, let's just put them there. And then it's nice and consistent. I like consistency if possible, rather than just anarchy. Find a pattern that works and then try and just repeat it. Also gives you a slightly tidier design, doesn't it? Right, so you're going to go to there, and then you're going to go to that one, and you're going to go to that one. And then the only thing is we need to power it from the grid. There's power lines there. We can just link these three together if you want to. That. And that is making stuff. Now, it's got nowhere to put it. What we need now is 6 more constructors, 1 for each of these things, and we should be able to just replicate the same pattern. So if we go back to production and go to constructor, and line up like that. If we just line them up, based on the previous one, like that, in theory, this should all work out. Push it back as far as we can. And then we want this one, line it up with that one. This looks crazy, like, but it's actually really efficient. It's a really efficient, really efficient use of space. Now these things are chucking out at 15 per minute, so Mark 1 belt is more than fine for these. You can tell you're using space effectively when it's actually difficult to just get around, just like, there's no space. I've made it so compact. There we go. And then we just need to have power poles for these, so let's try and line up with something. That one would do, wouldn't it? If we can get a power pole around here, that would be beautiful. But I think we're going to struggle with that idea. Let's come round here, and let's work from this side maybe. So there's in fact one though, we could perhaps just put them here. No, it doesn't like that. It's too close to the boxes of the objects, look. Even though they can fit easily, the game just doesn't like it, see? Considers it to be too close. You know what I want? I want wall power lines. Something that allows you to put power down against the wall. Because that would be awesome. Alright, should we try putting one there? And then... yeah, it's just not going to work, is it? This is a slight problem. Where's the power line? All the way down there. Could we perhaps put one here like that? And then one here like that? And one here? And then... can we link from... let me click on it. Can we link from there to here? I'm in the way. Not in the way now. Ah, that actually works. So having done that, we can then link that to that, that to that, and then we can link that to that. Okay, now what's the power draw on this thing? Because we need to be a bit careful here. We're not that far away from not having enough power. How much does this thing draw? Well, it's 4 megawatts, that's fine. Rods, screws. We're going to be producing screws at an insane rate of knots now. I guess I just tripped it. Right, we might have to sort of turn this off temporarily. Because I've just killed the factory, which is not a good idea. Let's see if we can restart this thing. We're going to need more power, Captain. It's not happy about that. Let's turn off some more. Let's turn off, let's see. This one's off. Let's put that on screws and turn it off. Put that on screws, turn it off. Yeah, okay, let's try throwing that again. Yeah, do you see it was peaking at like 284, that's the problem. Right, so you're on standby. Yellow, 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 yellow. Yellow! Right. So all the screws are on standby, that's fine. Let's just finish out the modelling, as it were, and then what we'll do is we'll go and figure out the power side of things. Now these are producing 90 a minute, so it means 3 of these are going to have to join in. So we can take a logistics, we can take a... we can't use a Mark 1 belt, we'll have to use a Mark 2 just because they're coming in at 90 a minute. We're going to get some reinforced plates, which I think are down here. We'll have to bring 3, merge them, and then take a Mark 3 belt just to move it away. And then we'll have 2 belts that we'll need to deal with. I think the reinforced plates are made by this guy. Yeah. Okay, we'll have a couple of them. Just looking at my inventory then, I can see that I've got enough modular frames for the milestone at the top, so I may just go and throw those frames in. In fact, let's just do it now before I forget. Because if we have a look at the current... Yeah, like say 10, so we'll just chuck them in there. We can probably chuck some of that in there. Got plenty of that. Don't have any motors at the moment, no. Let me just check on the research, because I don't know what we're researching at the moment. Analysis of the pale berries complete. Okay, hard drive. Do we have a hard drive?
Red berries or pale berries can be added to the object scanner.
Yeah, that's fine. So basically, pale berries can now be scanned for if we build an object scanner specifically for it. Alien carapace we could do. We can do... do we have a hard drive somewhere? We must have a hard drive. Circuit board. Did we find a hard drive? We've not really been out to any wreckage yet, have we? And I don't think 8 alien carapace is enough. I think it wants 10. Oh, no, it only needs 1. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. Let's get that done. Oh, it does need 10. No, it needs 1. It's wrong item. There we go. We may as well have it doing something than nothing. Right, so what we want a merger just about here to bring all this together. So logistics, conveyor merger, we want to line it up with that one, make sure the output's facing towards us. Somewhere there will do. And that's taking on that set. Now this one needs to be lined up on this middle bit. Ideally would line it with that one. That should work. And then we want Mark II belt coming into here. Well, this is going to look nasty, and it doesn't even work, you see, because by default it'll try to clip into there. So what we need to do is we need to build some of this just to sort of guide it in. And then we can build Mark II belt to there. That should turn into there. Okay, so same thing over here. We'll take... Actually, we might get away with it on this side. Mark II belt might just curve straight in. Yeah, there you go. Doesn't need it on that side. So there you go, and now we've just got the final stage, which is the Mark IV belts, Mark III belts, which we have enough stuff of. Now, we're going to have to keep these 2 belts separate, and we probably want to take them along here. However, thinking about it, the issue here is that we can take it along here, but we won't be able to walk along here if we do that. That may or may not be a problem. Let's have a quick look what's behind here. That's just a messy mess behind here. What we could do is take them on the outside of that wall, because the goods aren't affected like we are, and then we could punch them through here, maybe there and there. Because all this is going to go at some point anyway. So yeah, let's do that. Seems like a better deal to me. So we'll go for, let's see, we want a wall with a... Could do it as a double and take it over the top, couldn't we? Yeah, we could just have a single wall panel. Let's get the stuff on the inside, I think. That. Just have a plain wall. Actually, let's not do that yet. So what I'm thinking is, if we... This is going to be tricky to build because I can't walk into the area and do it, but I'm thinking if we say that one there, that one there. Pick one of them. Maybe we can do like another can be the upper deck. Bar. That. Okay. Now, this is going to be Mark 4 walls, aren't they? So, let's get logistics. Sorry, Mark 3 belts. I'm going to end up dying just trying to build this. Suddenly, this doesn't seem like the best idea I've ever had. Actually, you know what? Mark 3 to Mark 3. 3 into 3. Like that. And then all we want here is a... Well, it depends how we want to do it, but effectively we want to elevate. But I think the nicer solution is probably to do the wall thing again, as we've got it down there. There's a double. Actually, there's a different kind of wall. I don't know why, but suddenly I decided to do a different kind of wall on this side. Like that. That would just be a standard wall here. Then logistics. Probably going to get gassed. That's basically what we're looking for. Now, all we've got to do is get this up there, which we can do probably more easily with some of this stackable pole stuff. If we use that space like that. Maybe like that. Okay, logistics. And we can build to that height. So we just gradually climb it up, can't we? This one. So that won't go to that height, but it will go to here. Then if this one can turn to there. And say... Does that work okay? Looks like it works okay. There you go. I mean, all this isn't switched on yet, but this is the principles that, you know, all there, isn't it? And we can still walk through here now. And we'll just go and connect it off at the other end. So put that wall back. Like that. And then at this end, we've got the Mark 3, and one will come into that one. Can't afford it. I've run out of stuff. Okay, let's run upstairs and grab some more stuff. But the idea is correct, and it all looks like it's going to work. And the only final bit... How do we get upstairs? There it is. The only final bit will be to turn all the power on. And also belt it over to the main bus. But that's fine, we've done the hard work. The rest of it is just... What stuff was it we need for this? We need these things, don't we? Got plenty of those. I really wish I could get rid of these things, but they've added explosives into the game so that you can get rid of... like dynamite. You can make dynamites and you can get rid of big boulders and stuff, but it doesn't go far enough. It doesn't let you get rid of these things. You literally cannot blow them up. They're just completely immune, which just seems a bit dumb to me. Like, the whole point of landing on an alien world and it's like full of organic life and you just turn up and build this huge factory. You know, you're going to be blowing up the indigenous life forms. You're going to be blowing up all these poisonous plant structures. That's what you're going to do because you've got dynamite. That's what you do with dynamite. You blow stuff up. And quite why they don't let you do it is beyond me. Right, I think we've done a good job here. The main bus is over there. So what else we need to do is we need to steer these materials in. We can line them up. Depends how we want to do it, but effectively we're going to do something. We'll join them up here. Let's see, 1, 2. Depends how high we want to make it, isn't it? A low level or a high level. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. Like that. Then we'll have another one. Perhaps about here. These stackable poles are really useful. Mark 3 belts. So we'll go straight across there, and then we'll just elevate this one like that. Cool beans, look at that. So, once we sort the power out, we're going to have 2 Mark III belts full of screws coming down this line. And we're going to turn it. This won't be here. This is going to have to all go. We're going to turn it and push it onto this stack here. This will then run along here. So you have 2 Mark III belts of screws coming here. And at this point, one will split and go there. The other one will just carry on. As we said at the start of the video. But we've run out of time in this one. We've got a lot done. It's good stuff. It's good to be back in Satisfactory. We've sorted out the screws in this one. In the next episode, what I'm going to do is I'll probably just go and fix the power. I'll boost the power so that we can put this thing online in the next episode. And yeah, in the next one, what we're going to do is going to take this lot apart next and start producing rods and plates properly and get them on the main bus. There's a lot of this is going to disappear. We're going to have to compress build stuff over here. Maybe I should move those, but probably not. But yeah, well, anyway, that's enough for one video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. Until the next one, take care. Happy manufacturing.